Hey there everybody, Johnny T here, and today we're going to talk about this Tissot Lakers watch that needs a battery replacement. Tissot, they're a decent watch brand. Their watches don't have the best resale value. I want to say a Swiss quartz chronograph like this from Tissot, probably MSRP is around $350 to $450. This watch on the used market might be worth $150 to $200 maybe. That seems to be pretty common for these kinds of Tissot watches. They're well made. They're well made watches. They're just I don't know. They're not super. Yeah, they just lose a lot of their value, I guess. I feel like a lot of these kind of entry-level Swiss watch brands are similar in that regard. I mean, I guess even Tag Heuer watches do depreciate quite a bit. Most of them do. Maybe that's true for most watches. But anyways, so this is a Los Angeles Lakers watch. This is, I mean, if looking at the front of it, if it didn't have this kind of yellow watch band, which I've kind of cauterized it. It was starting to fray here. Probably shouldn't have done that. Now it's got a ugly looking burn mark on the band. But this is the original band that this watch does come with. The watch looks like a standard sporty chronograph, honestly. It's got most of the Tissot watches that come out these days have this kind of T-shaped counterbalance on the second hand, which is kind of cool. It's got kind of a matte finish, textured finish on the watch face, and then the dials, the sub-dials are all smooth. Each of the little chapter rings are nice. The major chapter ring is nice. It's got tachymeter bezel, which is pretty cool. This bezel is textured, which is neat. Yeah, it's not a bad looking watch, honestly. I mean, I want to say it's probably like 42-ish millimeter. Probably 42, seems about right. We'll find out later. Yeah, not a bad watch. So let's get to the battery replacement, shall we? Might as well get to it. So this is a press-on case back. We'll take a better look at this case back once it's off. What I'm going to do for this is I'm going to use my Bergeon 7403. This is a case back removal tool. And I'm just going to use some plastic so I don't scratch anything. And what I like to do is I usually try to find 12 o'clock, and I don't think there's a designated area for you to pry this off with. So I like to go in a corner where there's a lug, and then I like to use the lug for leverage to pop the case back off with. Just like that. And you want to use a plastic that's thick enough where you're not going to cut all the way through it. This one's not as thick as I would like, but I don't think I scratched anywhere visible. Like, if anything, like the metal of my case back opener might have touched the metal in the groove itself. That's not going to be visible, so I'm not too worried about it. Okay. So we got Tissot at the top here, sapphire crystal, stainless steel, water resistance 100 meters, and then this I believe is the model number T0954171703705. It's got a really interesting red gasket. It doesn't feel like it's actually made out of rubber. It feels like it's made out of plastic. Hong Kong case back. That's interesting. I wonder why. So this is an insert to the case back, it looks like. That's kind of cool. Interesting. Yeah, totally. It's an insert. It's got depth. Huh. Well, that's cool. Okay, so there's that. And what are we working with? So we need a Renata 394. Is that right? 394. Well, anyways, this is a G10.211 ETA. I do believe this is a pretty common chronograph used with a lot of entry-level watch brands. Tissot, Victorinox, stuff like that. Let's get this battery out. So the way I like to hit these batteries in this movement is you have your spring tension tab over here, and I like to just get under there and pry up until the battery pops out. Plastic tweezers. I got brass tweezers on the way. It was recommended that I try using brass tweezers, so I went and did that. They're coming from Britain. Got them on eBay. See how good those are. It seemed like a pretty darn good deal to me. So yeah, thanks for the recommendation. I forget who recommended that, but somebody in the comments section. I appreciate it. Where's my oh, here it is. Alright, I just want to double check and make sure that this is the size it says it is. I'm sure it is, but that's weird. Yeah, 394. Totally. Okay. 394 should be right here. Do not have a Renata 394. I'm gonna have to use a blue dot. Should work the same. Cheaper batteries tend to just drain faster. I don't believe they, as long as the voltage is the same, is what it's supposed to be. I don't see how using cheap batteries is gonna hurt anything, but you might not get as much. Like if a movement says it lasts 5 years, you know, maybe if you use a knockoff battery, maybe you get 4 or 3. But it's they're not too bad in my mind. Okay, so I'm just gonna put it in like so. All you want to do is so there's these two grooves here. You just want to put the battery underneath those grooves and then put it in, go in this direction, and it should go in pretty easily. So there it is. New battery installed. Let's see if it's running. I don't want the movement to fall out, so we'll do this. See if it's ticking. Yes, it's ticking. Very good. Tick, 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 tick. That's a good sign. The chronograph is not set at the moment. I think I'm gonna get the case back on, and then we'll set this chronograph. Get my case back tool here, and I've talked about this before, but basically what you want to do is you want the bottom to match the bezel of the watch, and you want the top to match the case back. So that's a little too big. I wouldn't use that side, but I think this other side is going to work perfectly. Yeah. That looks like it's going to put even pressure on the entire case back. So this is a good size for the case back. Pressing from the top down. Oop. So go ahead and put that back on. And then I just got to find one for the bezel. I think this one might be good. Yeah. So this size looks like it's going to work for the bezel. I don't know what millimeter diameter this is, but that is going to work. And then yeah, just put these in. You want to put the watch in this direction. Oh yeah. Okay. So you want to get the case back to line up with the watch face. So Tissot, if you flip the watch over, this is, you could read this properly, and then you'll be able to read the watch face properly as well. So I'll go ahead and do that really quick. Just kind of get this on as evenly as I can. That looks pretty good. Maybe not. I think we want to go. That looks pretty good. Okay. Let's put our watch in here. So I like to kind of guide it with my fingers and make sure it is centered. You could buy a case back press like this on eBay for not a lot of money. I think it's less than 40 bucks. Puts even pressure on the whole case back. Makes it so you don't deform your case back. Because if you deform your case back, you might not ever be able to get the case back on. This is something that a watchmaker in the comments has told me as well. Which I've done that before on a, actually, I'm looking at the Timex that I've ruined before, not doing that properly. So the case back is back on the watch evenly. That all looks good. The watch is running currently, which is ideal, right? Let's see if we can't get this. So this is not screw down. Let's see if we can get the chronograph set back to where it's supposed to go. Okay, so position 2, top pusher, is just going to move your minutes hand. The bottom pusher doesn't seem to do anything, so let's put it in position number 1. Oh, okay, position number 1, top pusher is going to move your 1/10 of a second, I believe that is. And then bottom pusher, position 1, is going to move your seconds hand for the chronograph. Okay, so let's wait for this to get to 60, the conventional seconds hand. Oh, that was weird. Why did it do a full rotation like that? Okay, I'm gonna set this again. Don't know why it did that. Maybe it was set and maybe it had something in memory, perhaps. I'm gonna wait for the second hand to hit 60 seconds again, and I'm gonna let this run. I'm gonna hit the chronograph. See if it'll follow the conventional seconds hand just to make sure they're in sync. It's just something I do. I don't think it's necessary, but I like to do that. It just makes it easier to see if either the conventional seconds hand or chronograph seconds hand is losing time. So, and okay, there we go. All right, I'm gonna let this run for a bit. We're gonna get dimensions on this, and then we'll probably call this a repair. I mean, it's not a repair. Battery service, John. Battery service. Okay. Anyways, so the case size on this without the pushers is, yep, 42 millimeters. Called that one. I'm getting better at this. That's also a really common case size for Tissot chronographs. It's just kind of what most of them are. So it's 48 millimeter lug to lug. Thickness is about 12 millimeter, and then the lug width is 19 millimeters, which is always awkward, but I don't know why watch companies do that. Cool. Okay, so let's see if the... Cool. So we just saw the minutes hand move over 1 when this hit 12 o'clock. It also seems to be in sync with our conventional seconds hand. They're both ticking together. So this all looks good. Now if I hit the top pusher again, which is the same pusher used to start the chronograph, it should stop it and give me our milliseconds. So what is that, 10 milliseconds? Is that right? Yeah. Or 1/10 of a second. So yeah, pretty cool. So this is 1/7 of a second. Yeah, very cool. Let's reset it. Very good. This is oh yeah, let's double check our date is working. Yep, it's supposed to turn at around 12 o'clock, and it does that. It's good. Let's make sure the quick change works. Right on. Cool. I would say that's a fully functional watch. Very nice. Yeah, well, like I said, watch like this probably worth, I don't know, $150-ish. They're not worth too much, but you know, like compared to something like a Fossil, it's an expensive watch. Because I think Fossils are like $60, or like a Timex Expedition. You know, I feel like those are what, $40 at Target or Walmart. Pretty cheap. And that's a brand new watch for $40, right? So I'm sure, you know, somebody looking at this and going, $150, that's, you know, 3 times, 4 times more than what I usually pay for my watch is brand new. So, you know, everybody's different, but in the grand scheme of things, $150 for a Swiss-made watch, sapphire crystal, and its name brand, in okay condition, it's not bad. It's not bad at all. And honestly, I kind of prefer quartz chronographs over mechanical chronographs because they're just easier to maintain, and they're just easier to use in my mind. So, okay, well, thank you so much for watching. Yeah, like and subscribe if this was useful to you, and yeah, I'll see you all in the next one. Cheers.